You better turn into God before I turn into Godzilla. How you gonna talk shit to diarrhea? This is Mark Bell from supertraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, answering more questions today for the Power Project, brought to you by HowMuchYouBench.net, the Sling Shot, and the only strength magazine in the world, thepowermagazine.com. I got some questions to answer today for the Power Project about dynamic effort deadlift and dynamic effort squats. But before I get to that, I have a special announcement to make today inside the Slinger Mobile. It is too windy and too freaking cold out there for the people's coach to be out there freezing his ass off, kicking the knowledge to the Power Project Army. The special announcement is this. I have been working with the strongest family in the history of powerlifting. In fact, this family is so strong that if you don't deadlift 771 pounds or more, you are booted out of the freaking family. True story. I am, of course, talking about the Lilliebridge clan. Eric Lilliebridge, Ernie Lilliebridge Sr., and Ernie Lilliebridge Jr. These guys are not only just one of the strongest families around, these are some of the strongest athletes in powerlifting today. Ernie Sr. is an old grizzled veteran who's still squatting 800 pounds or more. Ernie Jr. is only like 220 pounds and he is squatting over 700 pounds. He's pulling well over 700 pounds. He's going to probably deadlift 800 pounds. 800 pounds at 220. I mean, he's getting close to those kind of numbers. That is absolutely insane. And of course, many of you know about Eric Lilliebridge and what a badass mutant he is. With nearly a 900 pound squat, I believe officially 881 pound squat, a benches over 500, and also deadlifts over 800. Just an extremely strong family. Unbelievable to be working with them, and what I've been working with them on are some newer Sling Shot products from HowMuchYouBench.net. I've been working closely with Ernie Sr., somebody I knew would give me a lot of knowledge and somebody I knew would give it to me straight about the products that I have. He loves the current knee wraps that I sell at HowMuchYouBench.net, the black ones. But he said that he feels those are more for repetition training. And so I said, Ernie, let's figure this thing out. I want to see Eric hitting world record numbers. I want to see yourself squatting over 800 pounds. I want to see Ernie Jr., nailing some huge weights as well. And let's, Ernie Lilliebridge Jr., by the way, is also known as Eric's little brother. So we can just, he actually signed the cover that had Eric Lilliebridge on the cover, and he signed it Ernie Jr., Eric's brother, which I thought was amazing. Anyway, these guys are extremely powerful, and I knew they were going to give me a lot of knowledge on exactly the type of knee wrap that they needed. And so we have put our heads together. 4 heads from 4 meatheads, which is probably equal to about 1 normal-sized brain. And we have designed a knee wrap that is strong enough for these guys, strong enough to hold up to the types of numbers that these guys want to hit. And I'm extremely excited, extremely fired up to continue to move forward with these guys and continue to give you guys some of the best products that you've ever seen in your life. I really want to thank the Lilliebridges for choosing me over some other companies. You can read between the lines there and get this. But I really appreciate that. Ernie Sr., I promise you that invisible balloon is still on its way. Just please be patient. Please wait outside. I know there's a storm out there, out where you guys are at in the Midwest there, but throw on a coat, maybe make a little fire on your porch there or something, and the invisible balloon is coming your way. Anyway, Eric's going for a 900-pound squat. Ernie Sr.'s going to squat 800 plus, and Ernie Lilliebridge Jr., Sorry, I always have trouble spitting out your name. But he's going for 725 plus in the squat. These guys are outstanding, just outstanding lifters, and on top of that, outstanding people. And I am more than happy to come to terms with them and to come to an agreement with them. That gives them a lot more than just sending them some free products. We are working on some things that's going to make a little bit more sense for people that kick as much ass as they do. Let's just put it that way. I'll also have some other wraps that are coming. I've been working hard with Eric Spoto on coming up with some different things. Working on some different slanger versions and working on some different types of wraps. Don't want to give too much away right now, but hopefully some of you guys can kind of figure out what's going on. But pretty soon, all those products are going to be available at howmuchbench.net. Now, to get back on track here. Oh, before I get back on track, we have one other guy. Well, two other guys. We have two other guys to announce that I would like to work out some deals with. And that is, of course, Brandon Old Bird Dog Lilly. He and I have come to a verbal agreement on the phone about some things as well. So he will be sponsored by howmuchbench.net, the Sling Shot, and the only freaking strength magazine in the world, powermagazine.com. And everybody's favorite, the Maniac, with the strength of 1,000 maniacs, Pete Rubish, who is pretty much, it goes back and forth like every couple weeks on who's my favorite. It's either Ernie Sr. or it's Pete Rubish. And it just really depends on how stupid of a lift Pete Rubish attempts. I love watching the guy. I don't mean to say stupid, really. I don't want him to punch me in the face. But you see the guy do a hard lift and you're like, wow, that was an impressive video. And the video keeps going. And then he adds another 50 pounds. And you're like, holy crap, never seen anybody tough one out like that before. That was just outstanding. And then guess what? He goes up another 50 pounds. The guy is out of his mind. He's a complete savage. And I'm hoping to work something out with him as well. Do not contact me. Do not email me. Do not send me your resume because I do not care who you are. If I want to sponsor you, I will come find you. Anyway, let's get to this question. The question's about dynamic effort work. This guy says he's a weaker lifter, which is a big mistake. Don't call yourself that. He said he only squats around 350, 300-ish, somewhere in that range, and only deadlifts around the same. Don't do that to yourself, my man. Don't say only. That's just where you are currently, and that's just the way it is. But don't bash yourself. Not a good habit to get into, especially if you're a newer lifter. What you say, rather than saying that you're weak and admitting that you suck, is just say, I'm inexperienced. And let's just leave it at that. So anyway, this inexperienced lifter wants to know what to do with his percentages. And he's not sure what type of percentages he should use on Dynamic Effort Day. Dynamic Effort Day is effective for a few reasons. Reason number one, you get to continually work on your form. And this is in no particular order. Reason number two is you get to work on producing a lot of force. I would always suggest, if you have the ability to, if you have a chance to always do your speed work with some type of accommodating resistance. Now, other experts and other specialists, other people may disagree with that. I would also say do the majority of your dynamic effort work on a box. And there'll be others, Brandon Lilly included, who are going to disagree with that. But these are things that I feel are important, and these are things that I have seen work well for people. I'm not saying other people's programs don't work. I'm just saying this is what I believe to be effective, and if you want speed work to work for you, this is the best possible way that I think that you can do it. I do think that if you talk in absolutes, that you become an absolute moron. TM, Circle C. That quote was from my boy, Jesse Burdick. Thank you for that quote. But what you're going to want to do with your speed work is you're going to want to move fast. So we are looking at form perfection and force production. Another quote from my boy, Jesse Burdick. You hang out with smart people and good things happen to you, and you learn good quotes from them. You hang out with stupid people and you get stupid information. Anyway, with that in mind, your force production is crucial and your form perfection is crucial. So those are the main intent of the day. Main intent of the day is to get in good quality work and to move fast. I would not concern myself with the actual percentages. The rate of perceived effort, as Mike Teixeira likes to use, or rate of perceived exertion. I apologize, I messed up there. The rate of perceived exertion should be high. You're trying to exert yourself, with a lot of intensity through each one of these sets. You're trying to drive into the bar as hard as you possibly can. But in terms of the difficulty of the lift, it's somewhere between if you put it between a 1 and a 10, 10 being the most difficult, it would be like a 7, somewhere in that range. So if you wanted to attach a percentage to it, you could say that it's between 60 and 70%, somewhere in there. But you have to be moving fast. The lift itself has to be a 1-part lift. And you can barely push yourself. You can push yourself to that line where the lift almost becomes a 2-part lift. So how fast should you be going? What type of weight should you use? You should use weights that almost cause a compromise in form. And you should know what that means. You should be able to feel that. You should be able to feel that in your lower back. You should be able to feel that in your stomach. When you feel like you're going to fold up like an accordion, then you know that you have about the right weight on there. If you are turning into a 2-part lift, if you're folding up too much, then you need to reduce the weight. What I always suggest is start at 50% and then add some weight to that and see what you can continue to move fast. Do 2 sets of each weight. So let's say you start out with 200 because your best is 400. 200 would be half, right? Power Project Army, everybody following me? 200 would be 50%. So you use 200 pounds and you move it fast for 2 sets. Feels way too easy, add 20 pounds. Now you got 220. Feels too easy, do that for 2 sets, add another 20 pounds. And start to find your range and start to find a weight that works for you. Record what weight works for you and use it again next time, but maybe start out with a little bit heavier weight. That's it. Typical dynamic effort work for the squat is 10 sets of 2. Typical dynamic work for the deadlift is anywhere between 8 to 12 sets of 1 to 2 repetitions. The higher the repetitions you do, the lower the sets go. So 8 sets of 2 would be very normal, as would 10 sets of 1. Got it? Okay. Percentages are typically for raw lifters in the 60 to 70% range to start. But I always say start with 50%. It makes the math a whole lot easier. One more note. I know we're getting over time here. I'm talking up a storm. One more note is if you feel worn down on either one of the days, the max effort day or the dynamic effort day, you're going to have to back off a little bit. Normally people are pushing their dynamic effort day too hard, and it's actually making them slow. It's making them move like crap on their max effort day. So if that's the case for you, when you go to do a heavy squat and you're moving like crap with something that's normally very light for you, 225 pounds, then you have made some mistakes on your dynamic effort day, and you have to kind of recalculate and restart. Not recalculate. I don't want anybody using a calculator. You have to kind of restart and reevaluate the number that you're using on your dynamic effort day. Strength is never a weakness, and that is it from supertraining.tv.